All right, good afternoon. Welcome back here to Trader Minute. Great to have you aboard. Market just kind of, has opened up here today higher and just kind of traded higher all day. Not too much drama in it, not too much in terms of, big volume swings or anything to a dramatic type of degree. If we back things out to a 1 hour chart, you can kind of see where it is. The market's where it was last Tuesday, where it was the Thursday prior, and almost fully erasing the sell-off that came when the 2-year and the 10-year bonds inverted. And we had that kind of yield curve inversion there. So, market, still kind of in the middle of where, this kind of monster sell-off kind of happened here. And I don't think there's a whole lot in the market today to kind of, say, hey, this, that, or the other is changing. There is one thing, and I will show it to you after we go and deal with the challenge here. But let's go deal with the challenge. We have Visa. And we have Micron, Visa at 420, Micron here at, at 290. So 420 and 290. And let's adjust these. All right. So we're up, about $1,100? Nothing between the two of them, nothing to write home about. Neither are anywhere close to their stop or profit levels here. So nothing to really do there with those two, with those two positions. Now we do have another new signal on the board here. We have Microsoft is signaling bullish here today, and you can see the 3-7 crossover. We have a lot of these on the watch list today. A lot of 3-7 crossovers, but most of them are happening like in Intel, where it's happening near the low side of its recent range. Let me pull it up here. So it's happening down here. Down here with the 39.1 stochastics below 20, you got to see it's had a harder sell. Microsoft doesn't have that. Microsoft, we're actually getting a little bit of positive divergence starting to come into a few things here with Microsoft. So going to go out and trade Microsoft here on the bullish signal. Now this is one I've thought, looked at some of the different options and everything else. We have seen some implied volatility contraction, come in here, so far today. But I'm going to go with the most liquid of the options, the 140, rather than the 139s that were released here today. And going to come in here and do 10 contracts on it and market order it and pop on in. So 284 is my entry price. But this is the 20th of September 140 calls here on Microsoft, and I just did 10 contracts. In some of that because of the exposure we already have with Micron, with Visa. How aggressive do we want to get with a third position? And I've kind of just a little bit more tame in terms of the aggression level there. But let's go and fill things out. Show you kind of what this will look like. Entry price here on this is 137.99, and the ATR is 293. So let's come in, fill this out. I'm waiting for the thumbs up that the alert went out. So 137.99, and the ATR here 293. There we go. And the other stuff will fill in pretty easily, but 10 contracts here, and the entry price with it was 284. And today's date, we're looking at the 19th PM session, so 20th of September. 20th of September, 140 calls. There we go. And that'll give us an exit level here of 135.06. That'll be about a $3, stop. We're looking about a $6 run, which would take the stock to new highs, which is nothing unusual after some of the pullbacks that we see happen here with it. So there we go. The auto exit date's going to be, if the option is red or the position's red, 8/22. Will be the auto exit date, and that'll be the PM session. And then we're looking at 8/26 next week, next Monday, on a green position there. And 284 entry price, so just a little bit under 3,000 here into the trade, and keeping a little bit of cash on hand. But anyway, we probably have more cash in play right now than we've had at any moment in the challenge here so far. We have about 9,000 in play, 10,000 if you count today's gains. So I think this is the first time we've hit 5 figures in terms of exposure here this challenge. So always a nice spot to hit, and always nice when it goes our way, if and when it does that. So into Microsoft, rolling here with Microsoft, and we'll run it just like we run any other trade and go. Okay. All right, now, Microsoft, there's nothing too fancy about the chart or what's happening here and everything else. It's, you can see the simple 3-7 crossover. And, we have a lot of those. Microsoft was the only one that did trigger there. Visa, it kind of, Microsoft looks a lot like what Visa did on Friday. We have, Micron, which, a little bit different, but a little more tech nature. Apple kind of looked this way on Friday as well. There's not an overwhelming differentiation that we're seeing amongst stocks. Okay. When we look at the market as a whole, right, the market's not out of the weeds, okay? And you hear me say this all the time, and I'll repeat it again. Please don't look at the challenge and extrapolate anything in terms of, hey, well, the challenge is in 2 call positions or 3 call positions, so that must be extra bullish or things like that, and go allocate more investment funds because of the challenge. The challenge is running on very individual signals, very kind of distinct rules, and I hate using that term of rules, but of signals that it operates on and parameters that it operates on. When we look at the market as a whole, it's been a nice couple day run here for it, right? And it's erased some of that hard sell that we saw come in last week. We've seen a small push up in the bullish percent index, but very small. But at the same time, it's the biggest push up on the bullish percent index that we've seen since the end of June. Okay. We also have something else happening with the internals this morning or today. And, we talked about this one last week, the number of stocks trading above the 7-day moving average. And when we see a market go from bearish to bullish, this is typically something we see jump up into the 380 to 420 area, and it's at 415. So 415 of the stocks in the S&P 500 today are trading above their 7-day moving average. That's a big number. That's a number that's indicative of a major change that's happening. Now, it's not a foolproof number. It's not like, every time it happens, just go, buy anything and you're good. But it is one that, that does have a pretty good track record. But the number of stocks trading above the 20-day moving average is still less than 50%. And a lot of times we'll see this number play a little bit of catch up in the following days after the 7-day moving average makes that big shot. So we do see some improvement there, with the stocks trading around major moving averages. If you look at the small cap index, it's up 1.2% today. It's kind of performing right along with the large cap index. We are seeing kind of some equal performance elements in play with them. We have seen, a nice bounce in things like the FXI and the emerging market ETF, the EEM. But these have been the laggards, right? They have absolutely been the laggards, and one of the big reasons, we see the U.S. dollar continuing to climb high, continuing to push on up. One big change that we've seen here today is the TLT is down. I talked about it on Friday. That hey, on Friday, the big difference in Friday's market action was that we actually saw the TLT gap down. Right now, it didn't stay at its lows or anything like that, but actually gapped down, and that is just something we have not seen the entirety of this month. And we saw it gap down again here today, so kind of erasing some of the some of the over exuberance that that is in it, but I don't think it's saying a whole lot about what's it going to do tomorrow or anything like that. But I do believe that if we continue to see the TLT go lower, we will continue to see stocks go higher and vice versa. And I think that's just kind of the environment that we are in right here. Okay. All right, so into some Microsoft. Have some Microsoft now to go with Micron and to go with Visa, and we'll roll with those three positions here into the close and adjust them accordingly as the challenge dictates. Okay, there's nothing out there. There's nothing I'm looking at with any of them that would kind of qualify as this number 10 of hey, Jeff can step in under unusual circumstances. There's absolutely nothing unusual going on here with this, and with the way the signals have come in and how they're playing out. I did talk about Visa this morning and the implied volatility. We've seen it play out with Micron too today, but Micron has moved to a greater percentage. But those are not what I would call unusual circumstances. I was asked about that earlier today. They're very normal circumstances. They're very predictable, understandable type of circumstances. So nothing that we'll see any sort of adjustment here with. Thanks for hopping on. Have yourselves a fantastic evening. I'll be back on with you here tomorrow morning. We'll talk to you then. Take care.